Okay, we got to get into these games. There are so many big games this weekend, but there are two that stand above the rest. We'll start with the one that's like 2B, 2A, 2B, whatever, right behind the two big ones. And that's LSU versus Ole Miss. Undefeated SEC teams built very differently, winning games very, very differently right now. Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin DNA, they're going to throw it all over the field. They've done it with their backup quarterback. And Trinidad Chambliss is someone who was a D2, like highest level of Division II, but D2 football player, D2 quarterback. You don't really see that jump from D2 to SEC.
No.
And then he's great. And he's expected to start this week, but he's completed 67.7% of his passes, 719 yards, 4 touchdowns this season. Since he's come in the game, he's also rushed for almost 200 yards and 2 scores on 36 carries. This is a top 10 offense in FBS, even after Austin Simmons came out. And Austin Simmons was turning the ball over, by the way. So
yeah, he was.
There's definitely some questions about what is he healthy? And if he is, they're still going with Trinidad, who's been awesome. So you have the Ole Miss offense as part of this for sure. And then LSU's defense, definitely much, much better. But we gave that team so much credit for their win over Clemson. It turns out Clemson is bad. Turns out Clemson cannot run the ball on anybody. And that was one of the things we give away. It's just like, wow, look at LSU. They're stopping the run, all of that. LSU's offense has problems, has not done much, really struggling to run the ball. Garrett Nussmeier does not look like a potential number 1 pick at quarterback.
And they said he's dealing with a little injury or whatever the case is.
Torso
still,
injury.
For me,
yeah.
This is unimpressive still.
Yeah, well, so they're saying torso injury. I think he's getting closer to being like fully healthy, but it impacted his ability to work on like the deep ball and stuff like that in preseason. Joshua, this game is super, super interesting. I'm interested in like, how do you think it's going to be played? Like, who gets to determine the style of this game?
I think Lane Kiffin's going to determine the style of this game. If you were giving me Ole Miss and they were playing, Georgia, for example, like Kirby is 100% the guy who is determining how that game gets played. That game is played on Kirby's terms. Brian Kelly, like, not saying that he is a bad coach, but like Lane Kiffin is going to determine the way that this game is played. His offense is going to push the pace. They're going to try to find ways to take the aggressive edge off of LSU's defense. I'm also in that spot where I think the curtain's been pulled back on LSU offensively. I'm still not convinced that this is an elite defense. I think it is an improved defense, but there's no way for me to confirm that they're elite because the teams that they've played can't do that for me. So I think Lane Kiffin is going to he's going to make it a point to be like, nah, they didn't fix anything on that defense there. I'm really excited about this one because I do think the flip side is if there was a get right for the LSU offense, might be this game. I watched the way that like Taylon Green just ran up and down the field on Ole Miss's like it literally was like we can't stop a nosebleed right now. And if LSU has the guys they think they have, they should be able to get some explosive plays off of this defense.
Couple last stats as we close out this convo. LSU second to last in SEC in rushing offense, bottom third in total offense. So they're just not getting much going. And that's why Brian Kelly got asked about it. That's why he was ticked off about it because it's not easy. They're playing teams.
Ask me something different.
Yeah, but they're again, Clemson and Florida, like very inept offenses. And those are some of the teams that this defense has looked really good against.